I didn't plan to record another video like this. After the last one, I expected things to quiet down, but they didn't. Messages kept arriving from people I've never met, people from different countries, different ages, different lives. They wrote about regrets they carried quietly, about fears they never said out loud, about moments they thought they were alone in until they heard someone else describe the same feeling. Before anything else, I want to say thank you, not because praise feels good, but because honesty is rare, and when people choose it, it matters. My name is George. I am 87 years old. I've lived long enough to see trends come and go, to watch the world speed up while people feel more disconnected than ever. And today I want to talk about something simple that took me most of my life to understand. It's about the small lies we tell ourselves to get through the day. Not dramatic lies, not the kind that ruin lives overnight. I'm talking about the quiet ones, the everyday ones, the lies that sound reasonable and even responsible when we repeat them. I'm fine. It doesn't bother me. It wasn't that important. I don't need help. I'll deal with it later. At first, these lies feel like protection. They help us keep moving. They help us show up for work, for family, for responsibilities. But when we repeat them long enough, they stop being temporary shields and start becoming permanent stories. And once that happens, they don't protect us anymore. They slowly take pieces of our lives away. I didn't understand this when I was younger. I thought strength meant handling things quietly. I thought independence meant not needing anyone. I thought admitting regret or fear was a weakness. So I built a version of myself that looked capable and calm, even when it wasn't true. That version followed me for decades, and it cost me more than I realized at the time. When I look back now, I realize how early these habits form. We learn them as children, watching adults around us minimize their pain, laugh off disappointment, and reward emotional silence. We absorb the lesson that keeping things inside is maturity. Over time, that lesson hardens into identity. We become the person who never complains, the one who always handles things, the reliable one. People praise us for it, and the praise makes the lie feel useful. But usefulness is not the same as health, and approval is not the same as connection. For 43 years, I lied to my wife about something small. She used to ask me a question that seemed harmless. Do you ever regret not finishing your education? Every time she asked, I gave the same answer. No. Things worked out. Life turned out fine. I said it confidently, like I believed it. But the truth was different. I regretted it every day. I regretted quitting. I regretted convincing myself it didn't matter. I regretted letting pride decide my future. I told myself that admitting regret would make me look weak, so I hid it. I buried it under jokes and reassurance and moved on. One quiet afternoon, we were sitting together with nothing pressing to do. She asked the question again, gently, without accusation. And something in me finally broke. I told her the truth. I said yes. I regret it. I regret not going back. I regret pretending it didn't matter when it mattered deeply to me. She didn't get angry. She didn't say I should have known better. She simply asked why I never told her. She said we could have figured something out together. In that moment, I understood the real cost of my silence. I didn't just deny myself a chance to change. I denied her the chance to truly know me. I protected my ego, and in doing so, I created distance where there didn't need to be any. After my wife and I started speaking more honestly, I noticed subtle changes. Arguments didn't feel like threats anymore. Silence didn't feel as heavy. Even disagreement felt safer because it wasn't built on avoidance. Honesty didn't remove pain from our lives, but it gave pain somewhere to go. It stopped bouncing around inside us with nowhere to land. That alone changed how we aged together, how we faced uncertainty, and how we showed care in ordinary moments. I saw the same pattern play out in other parts of my life. I worked with a man for over 20 years. He was dependable, friendly, easy to talk to. We shared lunches and surface-level conversations about sports and weather. After he passed away, his family told me how lonely he had been, how much he wanted to open up, how he never felt safe enough to do it at work. That realization stayed with me. I knew him for decades, yet I never truly knew him at all. That's what these small lies cost us. They cost us connection. They cost us being known. And being known, even by one or two people, can make life feel lighter. Without it, we carry everything alone, convinced we're doing the right thing by not burdening anyone. My son taught me this lesson too. One day, years after he had built his own life, he admitted something he had carried since he was young. He told me he turned down an opportunity to work with me, not because he wanted independence, but because he was afraid of disappointing me. That fear shaped decisions he made for decades. We talked for hours that day. Nothing dramatic happened, but something heavy finally loosened. Truth doesn't always fix the past. Sometimes it just frees the future. When we stop pretending, we create space for understanding. When we admit fear, we make room for compassion. When we say what actually hurts, we allow others to show up for us in ways we never gave them the chance to. I think often about how many conversations never happen, how many apologies remain unspoken, how many thank yous are delayed until it's too late. We assume there will be time later, but later is a promise none of us can keep. Small truths shared early prevent big regrets later. Silence feels easier in the moment, but it charges interest over time. And eventually the cost becomes impossible to ignore. As I've grown older, I've watched people cling to pride even as it isolates them. I see neighbors who insist they're fine while sitting alone day after day. I see people refuse help not because they don't need it, but because needing it feels like failure. Pride has ended more relationships than anger ever did. Fear of appearing weak keeps people trapped behind walls they built themselves. There's a strange comfort in pretending nothing is wrong. It creates predictability, but predictability without honesty becomes numbness. I've seen people live entire decades inside, routines that protect them from discomfort, but also from joy. When you stop telling the truth about what you need, you stop allowing yourself to be surprised by kindness. You stop giving others the chance to care. I wasted years believing I had to perform competence. I thought being calm meant being unaffected. I thought control was the same as peace. It isn't. Peace comes from alignment, from living in a way that matches what you actually feel instead of what you think you should feel. Once I understood that, I stopped hiding so much. I started speaking more honestly, even when my voice shook. Every conversation now feels valuable. At my age, nothing is guaranteed. When someone asks how I'm doing, I answer honestly. When I'm grateful, I say it. When I'm scared or confused, I don't hide it. Not because I've become fearless, but because I finally understand the cost of silence. If you're listening to this and you recognize yourself somewhere in these words, I want you to know something. You don't have to tell everyone everything. Privacy has its place, but the people closest to you deserve the truth, not the polished version, not the version that says everything is under control. The real one, the one that says I'm struggling. This matters to me. I don't know what to do. Start small. Be honest with yourself first. Then choose one person who feels safe enough to hear you. Let go of the performance of being fine. Life isn't meant to be impressive. It's meant to be real, messy, uncertain, human. I don't have many years left, and that clarity has been a gift. I wish I had learned sooner that being known is worth the risk of being hurt. I wish I had understood that connection doesn't come from perfection, but from truth. If nothing else, let this be the takeaway. You are not a burden for having needs. You are not weak for wanting understanding. The people who truly belong in your life would rather hear an uncomfortable truth than feel a comfortable distance. As the years pass, memory becomes selective. Certain moments fade while others stay sharp. The moments that remain are rarely about achievements or appearances. They are about connection. If you take one step after this, let it be a gentle one. Write something down you've never said. Say it out loud when you're alone. Let your body hear the truth first. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. One sentence at a time, one moment at a time, choosing honesty over habit, connection over comfort, and presence over performance. That choice, repeated gently, can change a life more than any sudden transformation ever could. It changed mine, slowly, honestly, and finally for the better. And it can change yours too, if you let it. Start today, quietly, truthfully, and without fear.